Chapter 15. Xianxia squatted on a tree. This was a suitable place that he had finally found. 200 meters away there were a few houses. Two of them still had their lights on and he could occasionally hear people talking. Most of the surrounding area was farmland, but Xianxia could see that there were not many crops in the fields with the help of the dim starlight. This area should be demolished soon. After changing into a comfortable position, Xianxia closed his eyes and listened carefully. He didn't dare to be too careless outside. The last bit of light went out and there were some cat calls in the distance. Sometimes there were one or two dog barks in the house. The temperature in the suburbs was a little lower than in Chuhua, and the wind made Xianxia feel a little cold. The hazy sleepiness was also being blown away by the gusts of wind. Just as Xianxia was wondering if he should find something to do, he heard some noise. It was the sound of footsteps. It was very light, but for a cat it was still clear. Xianxia peeked through the leaves and looked in the direction of the footsteps. A man in a loose sweater walked over with one hand in his pocket. The pocket seemed to be holding something and the other hand was holding a small shovel. The person was wearing a hat, so Xianxia couldn't see the person's face and he couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. But at this time people who dared to come out alone were usually men, right? Looking at this posture. Was he going to kill someone and bury the body? Xianxia's curiosity was suddenly aroused, but he didn't dare to follow. Even if it was a cat, there was no telling if it would be killed. The direction that the person walked in was some dilapidated tile-roofed houses. It seemed that no one had lived there for a while and there were weeds everywhere. Seeing that the person stopped in front of a half-collapsed tile-roofed house, Xianxia was ready to squat there and watch the show. After all, it wasn't far. The person squatted in a corner back-facing Xianxia and he didn't know what he was doing. Xianxia didn't hear the sound of bricks hitting each other, but there was a slight sound of glassware hitting each other. It wasn't until dawn that the man left the dilapidated house. Xianxia jumped down to take a look, but he didn't dare to get too close because he smelled an unpleasant smell. It was like pesticides. Xianxia was curious, but he cherished his life even more. Even if it was a cat's life, it was still his life. Taking advantage of the fact that the residents were still sleeping, Xianxia climbed into a house's yard and found a faucet to wash his feet so that they wouldn't stick to the soil from the dilapidated house. The water was too cold and there was no paper towel to wipe it off. Xianxia didn't want to lick the water himself, so he looked around and saw the clothes hanging outside the house. Only then did he wipe his claws on a long dress made of the best material. He stomped his feet on it, leaving a series of dust marks. After wiping his feet, Xianxia grabbed a persimmon from the persimmon tree in the courtyard, washed it and took it away. A few dog barks came from next door. The dog probably heard Xianxia's movements. The sound was a little tender and it should be an underage puppy. When Xianxia returned to the tree, the sky was much brighter. Not long after, there were sounds of people cursing from the house. The reason was the skirt that Xianxia used to wipe his feet. As the sun rose, the temperature gradually rose. Xianxia felt the warmth of the sun on his body. He yawned, stretched, tore open the bag of thumb pancakes and began to eat breakfast. If it was too dry, he would gnaw on the persimmon. A brownish-gray puppy ran out of the house and played in the field. This should be the guy who barked a little earlier. There were a few hens pecking in the field that no one was managing. The puppy ran over and chased the hens away. One of the fat hens squatted down and didn't move when the puppy rushed over. After the puppy rushed over, it paused a little at the fat hen and took a few bites. It probably didn't even touch the hen's skin, so it continued to chase the other hens. The more it chased, the more it ran and the more it chased. Every time the fat hen saw the puppy chasing it, it squatted down and didn't move. Every time it could avoid being chased around. Sure enough, Depang's son also had great wisdom. The puppy was tired of chasing the hens, so it stuck out its tongue and jogged along the road by the field. Suddenly, its ears moved and it stopped to look around. It looked in Xianxia's direction and then ran over. Xianxia chewed on the thumb pancake and looked at the puppy that was barking and running around the tree under the tree. He threw down the thumb pancake that was only the length of a fingernail. The puppy paused, then walked over. It put its nose on the ground and sniffed around. It found the thumb pancake in the grass, rolled its tongue and ate it. After eating, the puppy looked at Xianxia on the tree, who was eating the biscuits, and wagged its tail happily. Every time, Xianxia would chomp down a thumb biscuit until there was only a small piece left before throwing it down. Then she would watch as the little dog wagged its tail and searched for the biscuit in the bushes. Sometimes it would stand up and catch the biscuit in the air. Xingtian had a lot of fun. Unknowingly, the bag of thumb pancakes was almost empty. Just as he was about to sigh, he suddenly heard the sound of a lighter next to him. Xingtian was shocked. When did someone come nearby? Looking in the direction of the sound of the lighter, Xingtian saw a man dressed like a migrant worker. However, even if he changed his clothes, Xingtian still recognized him. It was the man who was looking for the Dutch pig. The puppy had just noticed a stranger nearby and barked at the man. Xingtian curled his lips. "You foodie, what's the use of barking now?" However, the puppy didn't last long. Under the man's gaze, the puppy ran away with its tail between its legs. Xingtian didn't dare to run. He wasn't sure if he could escape successfully. He wanted to see what the man wanted to do. Or should he pretend not to know him? After all, there were many black cats in the world. Xingtian thought in his heart. The man blew out a smoke ring and looked at Xingtian. "Even if you don't wear a cat tag, I still recognize you. You're so mean to tease the puppy." **CK It wasn't easy to fool. Xingtian pulled his ears and tightened his muscles. Although the man's aura was relatively calm, Xingtian's first impression of him was too bad. He had to be on guard. The man smoked and said a few words casually. Then he suddenly asked, "Were you here last night? Did you see anyone strange?" "Strange person? Was he referring to the one in the sweater?" "You really did see him." Celestine saw the answer from the subtle changes in the cat's eyes and expression. Originally, he just wanted to test the cat. In fact, he didn't expect to get any useful information from the cat. He didn't expect the cat to really see him. "Hey, I won't ask too much. I just want to know what that guy did. Or did he hide something?" Celestine held the cigarette in his mouth and spread his hands to show that he didn't mean any harm. Xingtian thought for a while and lifted his chin to point at the broken-tiled house. "Thanks." When Xingtian decided to run away, Celestine, who was walking towards the broken-tiled house, said, "Don't go yet. I still have something to ask you. Even if you run away, I'll still catch you. Do you believe me?" Xingtian saw a flash of silver light, and a thin metal piece was stuck in the road in front of him. Xingtian stared at the metal piece that was still trembling in front of his paw. He shook his beard, squatted down and raised his paw to flick the metal piece. He was full of surprise. He turned his head to look at the man in the broken-tiled house. How could the man in the sweater find the thing that he hid so easily? 5 minutes later, Celestine held a brown glass jar in his gloved hand and a phone in his other hand. "Hello, I have good news for you." I said, "I have good news. Did you hear me?" "Phil. I said, "Over there. Faster." As soon as he hung up, the phone rang. "Hello." I said, "I have some clues over here." "Hello." The description of the location and the brief description of the incident took 10 minutes, and it was repeated over and over again. Xingtian was tired just listening to it. Xingtian made a rough estimation. In 10 minutes, that person would probably say 3 words, hey, followed by F***. Wei Ling finally finished talking and threw the phone into his pocket as if he had been freed. F***ck stupid smartphone. Looking at Xingtian, who was still squatting in the same place, Celestine nodded. "Come with me. Don't think about running away. Otherwise, I'll go to Tsinghua University to find you. You actually live there, right? I don't believe that you won't go back." Xingtian. This trip was so F***king bad. "Wait here, I'll go get the car." After speaking, Celestine ran away with the jar. Xingtian waited on the spot for 2 to 3 minutes before she saw the person riding a woman's bicycle over on the bumpy gravel road.